Hi, today we are going to study about the monopoly. Monopoly is a part of the imperfect competition. As you all know that in monopoly we have only one seller and the product, and the seller can take the price according to their wish because they want their profit maximization as much as they can, because in the monopoly we don't have any close substitute for the particular product, and there are barriers for the entry. See, because in a monopoly it's very difficult for a person to get enter, as we studied in the perfect competition, that there is no entry and there is no barrier for entry and exit. But in a monopoly there are lots of barrier to entry. Okay, now we are going to study about the characteristic of monopoly. The characteristic of monopoly means shows that as we know that we have only one seller of a particular product, it means that the firm have a particular right to control the price and the supply of product, because they can fix according to their desire, according to their wish, whatever they want to do with their product. As we know that every the different demand curve have a different characteristics of moving around and whatever the things are, but the monopoly demand curve slopes downward and supply and demand are in equilibrium. In equilibrium at that point, that means that they both are on equal condition, and where the marginal cost equal to the marginal revenue. When the marginal cost equal to the marginal revenue, it means that you have a maximum profit. You will get a maximum profit. If the marginal cost is not equal to the marginal revenue, that means that the profit maximization is low. ठीक है, तो इसमें क्या है, बिकॉज ड्यू टू द मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इक्वल टू द मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू, द characteristic of monopoly shows that there is a maximum you can say the maximization of profit will take place. Now as we know that the pure monopoly is rare in today markets. Okay, how is it pure, rare in today markets? Okay, because these days anybody can enter and exist into the market and start their own business revenue, but into the pure monopoly they have some restrictions and they have some barriers regarding to their you can say that their you can say that to their survival. These days we are using an example of Indian Railway as well as the Road Transport Corporation, because they are maybe termed as a monopoly. Why we used to call that monopoly? Because we don't have any other substitute of Indian Railway. See, because Indian Railway, as you consider that the cheapest way of transportation by Indian public, we generally used to go wherever you want to do for long distance. We are using trains and other things. So now, as we all know that the economics of scale allow the monopolies to charge as much price as they want for that particular product, and they were driving the new entrant out of business. Okay, as we know that it is very difficult to enjoy monopoly, because we have as you know that there is a different barriers to entry for its competitors. These barriers in the form of economics of scale, product differentiation, low cost or ownership, and the key factors of production. See, if an industry you can experience substantial economics of scale. See, it will not be able to what economics of scale? Economics of scale depends upon your demand and supply, how much demand will move in, and how if the price will down, the demand of that particular product will be rising day by day, and if the price of that particular product will increase, the supply of the particular product is increasing. There is but as we know that they will not it will not be able to support more than one producer. Economics of scale will not allow the other seller, and they will not have to produce their own product. See, as well as the you know that A monopoly may not be last. Now, see, in India, in 1980, India there was only one Doordarshan, the state-sponsored TV channel with deregulation of media industries, a host of private satellite. But these days now, a host of private channel satellite came up, giving Doordarshan stiff competition, and they were giving a lots of new channels and new other things by which the people can, they are trying to satisfy the human people demands and give the new other things. And the other example of monopoly which I am going to take here is Indian Airlines, which was the only domestic airlines earlier, but these days we have a different we have a different you can say different other airlines by which we can use we can use them, and we can fulfill our desire, and we can use as a way of our conveyance. Next thing we are going to study about the price discrimination. Price discrimination means say somehow whenever we go for some shop or some other thing, the person will charge the different price for a different people. Okay, you can say you can take an example of skilled labor. If there is a plumber and electrician, if you call him for repairing a fan, what he will do, he may ask you $200 or $300. But in the same way, when the same plumber will go to the other house, he will charge only 100 rupees. Why is it so? Because they depend upon the price discrimination according to that plumber, that you are in a position to pay the $300 and the other person is not able to pay $300, so he will charge only $100 for that. And see, these days the price discrimination is not possible under perfect competition. See, now we are going to study about the other thing, that there are two conditions which must be fulfilled for price discrimination. Without fulfilling that condition, we are not able to give the price discrimination. First one is the market must be divided into the sub market with different price elasticity, and second one is there has to be an effective separation of the sub market. That means you can say that see, for example, I will give you an example of this. Consider a seat on a flight from Hong Kong to Toronto. Each seats on the aircraft cost the airline company the same amount, but right now you have an emergency and you have to go over there, and suppose a corporate executive has to go over there, and he will charge such a and if a corporate executive want to go to Toronto and there is an emergency, what the airlines people will do, they will ask for a higher price for the particular seat, and the corporate executive will definitely do that and go for and complete his tour. And another possible example, that a retired scholar who wants to go on a tour, his demand may be quite elastic for a seat or any particular flight. The airline, what the airline will do, the airline may have to reduce the price in this case, because somehow the airlines and the other people, those who are in the market of monopoly, they knew from where they want to earn money and from where they leave the money. Now we have three factors which made the price discrimination possible. First of all is consumer preference, second is nature of the good, the third one is the distance and frontier barrier. The consumer first of all we will consider about the consumer preference. Consumer preference means, so when consumer is, see, we have a two consumer, the consumer A and the consumer B. When consumer A is never about that fact that consumer B get the same good at different price. The second one is when the consumer has an irrational feeling that he is paying a higher price for that particular product, and when the price differences are so minor that the consumer is not worried about it. Okay? And the second one is the nature of the particular good. See, since the resale of certain direct services is very difficult, so what will we do? See, if there is an emergency and we need to call a doctor, then what will we do? We will go to the clinic and and just go and check up for ourselves, yeah, what the problem is that. And you can say the service of a doctor can ask, doctor can charge the same price for every his patient. And in the same way, in the cinema house, whenever you go for a movie and somewhere else, you will pay the same amount of the money with the other person will do. Okay. The last one is distance and frontier barrier. Distance and frontier barriers means the price discrimination. See, when the monopolist is serving two markets, one is home market where there is a tariff, and the other one is world market and where there is no tariff. Where he can take advantage of the protected market. Protected market, which protected market where there is a tariff, and there is a tariff, that means they can charge for a different amount, they can charge for a higher price for that particular product. And price discrimination may also take place due to the differentiation in the transport cost. See, because in the due to the tariff cost they want a different prices and they ask for a different price. They said because due to that reason and that particular product we are hiring a such such a particular amount for that product. Okay. And now we have three type of price discrimination: first degree discrimination, second degree, and third degree. In a first degree, what will we do? In a first degree, each consumer is charged the maximum price he would willing to pay. Maximum price in the same, because you can say for the firm this is the most profitable pricing scheme. How is it most profitable? Because the buyers are charged the maximum possible price for each unit of output. And in the second degree price discrimination, this is the more practical form of price discrimination. Here firm charges a different price for each set of units sold. For example, of BSES and any other electric company, they can charge they will give you 3 rupee per unit for some specific amount, and afterwards they can charge 5 to 7 rupees for that particular unit. Okay. And now the third one is the third degree price discrimination. It will be segmented on the basis of the price elasticity of a demand. We will take an example that see books published by American publisher are sold in other countries at a very low price. Why another country it will be in a very low price? Because the price elasticity are very high. Sorry, the demand elasticity are very high, and due to the higher demand, the price will be low, and the people are willing to buy the product as much as they can, so they can get the book in a very lower price. See. That's all for the price discrimination. Now we are going about the natural monopolies. Natural monopoly is a market condition in which a single firm is able to meet the demand for the entire market. But this is very difficult to fulfill that only single because these days the demand will be expanded, and it's very difficult for a company to satisfy the customer demand as according to their requirement. So it will not be workful in these days, and due to the changes in condition and technology can alter the cost condition, as well as the improvement in technology and many other new forms. Okay. Now we are studying about the monopolistic competition. Chimbril and Robinson propose a model of monopolistic. Monopolistic is a combination of elements from perfect competition and monopoly. इसमें क्या है? It resembles to a large extent as a perfect competition. See, here we are studying about the monopolistic condition. Monopolistic condition are of two types. First of all, with the product differentiation, and second one is of the type of product differentiation. In a product differentiation, what will we do? We will take an example. So, for example, say the shampoo industry in India. Various manufacturers produce different kind of different brands such as Sunsilk, Pantene, Head and Shoulder, etc. The manufacturer of Sunsilk had a monopoly over the brand, and no other producer can produce a new Sunsilk brand. But the producer of Sunsilk faced tough competition from the other segment. How? because the manufacturer of silk cannot decide the price of that particular product without considering the price of other shampoo in the market which are close substitute. Okay. Product differentiation can be done on the two bases. First, product can be differentiated on the basis of two character and such as exclusive patented feature, trademark, and some special type of packages and wrappers. And secondly, the differentiation may be based on the conditions surrounding the sale of the product and the after sales service. See, marketers and monopolistic marketers also product differentiation in order to maximize profit. In the FMCG industry, many companies try to differentiate the same product in a product by using a different kind of techniques of branding. Companies use brand extension, for example, Clean Plus shampoo, Clean All, Clean Plus hair, and so many other things. Okay, now firms in the service industries also try to differentiate themselves through their logos. A logo could be just another picture or could be the identity of the organization. Service companies such as banks, financial services, and other courier company nail and try to create a association in the customer mind. Okay, next one is a type of product differentiation. Type of product differentiation means product to differentiate the product of one producer from the another, and by which there are of two types, that is one is real and the second is fancy. The product differentiation is real when the inherent characteristics of the product different and differences when the product are basically the same. Real product differentiation, you can say that where the differences in product specification or differences in location of the firm which determines whether the product is available conveniently to the customer or not. Okay, and in the second one, the fanciest, the product is differentiated through advertisement and difference in packaging, design, or brand name, etc. Now the last thing is that the frequently asked question, that is explain monopoly, explain three factors which made price discrimination possible, explain monopolistic competition with example. I think I have explained you in a very small and easy manner. If you have any query, you may send your queries to me and I will reply you as soon as possible. Thank you for now.